So I feel I
Uh,
feel like this is a really good platform to get very valuable information, to meet people whose lived experiences align with my research interests as well, and to see how my research can also contribute to like the situations that we currently find ourselves in as a continent generally. So yeah.
wow, nice. Nice you being here and visit the platform. And I hope when you think or have a question or maybe even a comment, please let us
Mhm.
know.
I
And
will definitely.
I have no time. What is the time you're living in?
I'm in the central time zone right now, so it's 12
Oh,
p.m. right
you are
now,
in the middle of
12:02
the
p.m.
day.
Yes, it's midday right
Yes.
now.
The rest of us is in the evening, you in the middle of the
Hmm.
day.
Yes.
You have the day in front of you. Nice. Good. In the meantime, I noticed also that the session started with the recording.
Yes, I think we're on time. I'll introduce myself. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm very happy to see my brother and sister from Congo, Sudan, Ghana, and international, even from the Western. My name is Tisabi Hakim. I'm a physician and deputy director for Women Beyond Silence, and we're so happy to see you here. I'm going to introduce you how to do a caption for French speaker and Arabic speaker. If you're listening to me right now, we can do it together. If you see in the bottom, you can see three dots, name more. Press it and turn your translation on. Choose a caption, English, Arabic, or French. If anyone did it, can you raise your hand or say like, so I make sure everyone having the translation they need and they have. Okay, I see some heart. Okay. If it's not working, you can text me here in the chat or in WhatsApp, in the group. I'm not gonna talk further. And for the one who have worked in organizations or initiative or an activist, at the end of the session, we'll open a form for you. We want to hear your work. We want to hear your struggle with social justice content, and we want to share experience because we're not here to tell you what to do. We're here to create solution together. So we want to hear your perspective, what you're struggling from, and if you wish to be a speaker in our next webinar, we also welcome you. You can contact each one of us. I will send you contact in email or on WhatsApp. And let's start, because let's see what Yvonne is gonna bring us. I'm very excited. So let's go. If you have any question, write in the chat or raise your hand. We're gonna follow up with you.
Thank you, Sabia. Sabia asked me a few weeks ago if I wanted to give a webinar related to some comments I made on LinkedIn. And so I was not sure, but I thought, okay, let me do. You never know what I can share and how it will go. It's not my hobby, so I feel really uncomfortable. I will probably also make some challenge related to the sheets and everything. Please forgive me. Don't hesitate when you have questions. At the end, there is also a general place for questions, but like we already mentioned, raise your hands when you're in between or want to make a comment or question, let me know. This can be directly by the Zoom. It also can do by WhatsApp, like Sabia and Roim and others. They will actually follow up the questions to be sure that I will get them and see them. Suppose I will forget or my mind is too full or you never know. You already see my name, Yvonne Snitjer. I'm from the Netherlands. And like I said, I feel really comfortable with being here. This is totally different than sitting in the Sahara here in the Caucasus on the picture. This was really, really comfortable and I enjoyed it really in Libya. I will use a lot of experience, knowledge, what I took in Libya, and I will bring you into my learning process related to social justice, related to humanitarian aid, and anything like this. But first, I want to express also why I find it uncomfortable. First of all, I don't like to be a speaker, but second and more important, talking when in meantime in Sudan and other places in the world, people are really in need. Last week, not only the war in Sudan, but also the climate change disaster by the ground shifting there, and that a complete village, Tarsin, was disappeared. And then I am actually sitting here talking, and people are hungry, need more. And I don't know who of you are following what happened in Sudan. My screen is of timeline on social media or anywhere else. I see on regular time the videos coming from the people crossing the Sahara, trying to find safe place, trying to find some food. Some even make it, others don't. And it hurts. In that case, I'm happy. I also a little bit happy to be here. Who knows? Yeah, you never know. I like surprises, and I will tell you later more. For sure, it's an honor. This picture in Akakus is made on the 1st of January 2016. I was at that time living and working in Libya. And actually, at the moment that I was sitting there, I was not realizing that it was the 1st of January. Later I did. And when I was sitting there, actually, I was thinking of, I'm sitting here in history. Because sitting in the sand, surrounded by the akakas, the mountains, and everything, you know how decades, centuries are passing by and left a footprint in the Sahara. You feel and you see it. And then later, on the 1st of January, as I am a change manager into the development, it was really connecting all. So yeah, it was really a special moment, and I never forget. Before I continue, I also want to say something about Eureka. Eureka is my foundation, and I started this in 2013 together with a Libyan, coming from the name Eureka from Archimedes. I found it, he said, and bringing two cultures, societies together, the West, and in this case also the Arab. I put al in front of it because I found it doesn't mean that you're already there, but you have an idea, you have an energy coming for a change, to making a step. And during the move, you will see and discover if it will be there. It's a foundation connecting by sharing and connecting knowledge with a focus on people. Here it's a picture, me in Misda. It's in the north of the Sahara, so around 200 kilometers, 250 kilometers the south of Tripoli, sorry. Not teaching, but being there and sharing, like what I'm doing now, also some of my knowledge and my being in Libya. And actually the most interesting part of, no, painful part, not interesting, painful part was, even when I didn't say anything, being in Libya gave people a moment of joy. Because in the years I was there, it was a lot of stress, sometimes some conflicts, and then you have this Western woman staying in the country, and they saw me that I enjoy it because my heart is in Libya. This session is not about knowledge, it's about awareness, because I believe more in awareness, because I know that many people already have the knowledge, a lot of knowledge, and maybe there are some holes, but we also have to admit we cannot know everything. And even the knowledge what I maybe will share, or not, it's about how you will use it, that you will, by awareness, will make a choice if you want to know more or you want to get rid of it as from, okay, this is ballast. Because the points I will tip, I cannot go into the whole deepness, because therefore it can be sometimes too complicated. But please don't hesitate to contact me when you want to know more and get more in the deepness, and I will make an extra time for you to go more into it and guide you to get more. I believe in the unknown, because as a change manager, program manager actually, I believe that's something that you know, it means that you already did it, or for sure somehow you don't know it. And related to change, you have to make the step in something you never did before. So go in to the unknown, dare to go for it. And to dare to do this, I will tell you more later, and I will show you more. Me being in Libya, I get to know Libya in 2011, the end of 2011. At that time, I was working in the Red Cross, and actually, I was working with Red Cross, and the government asked the Red Cross to bring volunteers, Arab-speaking volunteers, in contact with the Libyan wounded who get medical treatment in the Netherlands. Somehow, several things went wrong, and I came there and asked them, I worked for them to change it, that they got the help. I'm sorry. After this, actually, I never traveled before. I traveled a little bit in Europe, but not much. My holidays were in the Netherlands, but somehow I become connected to Libya, and it was in my system, and I found it really hard to let it go. And somehow this is not going well. So sorry. What I wanted to say is that I found my heart in Libya. I don't know how, what, but suddenly in 2012, by I don't know what, it was pulling me like hell. So I needed to go to Libya. First of all, the man who I met in the Netherlands, I got a lot of warning from people around me. Please, Yvonne, take care. They are Muslims. They was just fighting. Maybe they want to fight here. Take care of your clothes. Don't do this. And in the meantime, when I was with the man, I have never got so many respects, so peaceful, and so much joy at that time. So it was so confrontation with the people outside who did not get to know the man. Actually, they don't want to know it. I asked them to come, but they didn't want to. And my own meetings with them, I find it painful. But I continue, and I also had the idea, maybe they changed in the kilometers from Libya to the Netherlands. I heard about the aim they had, building a safe country and democratic country, and seeing the falling down of democracy in the Netherlands as well in Europe. I'm talking about 2011, can you imagine? I was from, okay, we can learn from them. They want to build something up, and we are at this moment going down. So from two different perspectives, you can learn more easy. So that was also one of the reasons why I can't go. Only this was by my mind, an explanation. But in the meantime, the biggest reason was coming from my heart. And that's I can show you a book, a notebook I had with me in the first trip going to Libya. In the book is written, I'm excited. It's like I'm going home. I'd never been in Libya. I did not speak Arab or Libyan language, but it was, I don't know, I can explain. So I see, you can see here the old center of Libya, of the Tripoli, Trablus, and the mountain in front of nearby Misda Gerian. I was living in Libya alone as a woman. As you can see also in the pictures there, and later more. With my car, and I traveled to many, several cities, never go to conflict zones or anything like this, because Libya is huge, really huge. So I did not have to go to difficult or dangerous places because the rest is okay. And it was really joyful and still is. I will check a little bit. I don't know. I saw that some people made questions. Sabia, you check them before I go to the next slide, because in the next slides, it's also more about the subject of social justice. So I will check the questions when I can find them. No.
We don't have questions so far. It's
Oh, I thought 4.
we have Liberta, it's president of the network of
Oh,
women.
they just
here.
introduced themselves. Okay, I did not see. Okay, thank you. Then I continue. The social justice, humanitarian aid through social justice lens. During my time in Libya, I already mentioned my time before I was in Libya with the Libyans. I got this contradiction information. So the man will have to be really dangerous, and they have to say no to, and they will not touch any woman, and you don't know. And this was not my experience. But also when I was in Libya, and later I emigrated even to Libya, because I got many requests, and I tried to bring these requests related to education, related to development, to other organizations, because they are professionals. And I thought, okay, everyone was doing a revolution. Oh, revolution, all new democratic countries, this is good for the world. And then the reality, nope, there was no support. There was no answer on the requests. And I was really from, why? Why is nobody helping when they have a question? It was not about the money, because Libya has the money, so they will pay. So this is not the answer. It was just an unwilling people. Countries, organizations, institutes did not want to cooperate with Libya, of Libyans. So this was also one of the inspirations of Eureka. As an aid worker, the social justice, I learned a lot about it in the years, and I can assure you it did not make me happy. I will try not to be too negative about the West, but the painful part is that there are huge challenges in the West, but also in the rest of the world. The social justice definition you see here is from the UN. It's an underlying principle for peaceful and prosperous coincidence with and among nations. I don't know, some of you are from Sudan, some others from Congo or other countries, but related to my knowledge, what I developed by Libya, I noticed again and again, there was some real interesting treatments related to Libya. The approach and the communications about Libya or with Libya. Actually, there was no communication with Libya, but many countries were talking about Libya, but not with Libyans. Even the decisions made were hardly done with Libyans. So following and being in Libya, following it for years, day by day, it was from, what the heck is going on? I did not understand, and I still don't understand. Maybe I do, but I will continue later about this. The interpretation, the world which society is based on principles, equality, solidarity, understand the value of human rights, recognize dignity in every human being. There is a reason why many African countries wanted to themselves back from the ICC, because the African countries or leaders were wanted by ICC, where the Western leaders, the whole world knows about the illegal war in Iraq, but the ones who are responsible for this, nope. Guantanamo Bay, nope, no wanted. And the list can be made really long. Why? This is not justice. And social justice, when you think about Congo, how we taking all the ground materials there to have a cheap telephone or things, when this all is toxic like hell, what is happening there. And the wars, what happened, support by the West, not maybe directly by money or weapons, but for sure by ignoring it and not naming the responsible ones, same as the ones who are supporting the other wars. I don't know about you, but when I see this definition, knowing also that it is the aim for 2030, so this is a little bit more than 5 years from now, I'm sorry, I don't think that they will reach the aim, because the challenge is too big. And the corruption for this too. About the corruption, there is a man, earlier he was the head of human rights from the UN, Saeed bin Hussein. He is expert in these days about the international corruption. So please, when you want to know more about this, take attention to Saeed. He resigned actually, because he thought I cannot handle this anymore. And now I try to bring a next slide. Oh yeah, now it's gone. The 5 keys of the principles, because there are 5. Some you will recognize and others, I don't know. When I was reading them, also in preparation of this webinar, the recognition that different people have different needs and circumstance, equity. Actually, of course, we all know that everyone is different. Only why naming equity when this is more connecting to money, I don't know. This is, I think, I'm not sure if Elon Musk needs money, but okay. I for sure don't need this much money, what he has. Ensuring that everyone has access to the resources and opportunities they need to succeed. We also know that it many times it will be blocked when you see the difference of about the visa. Many of you actually don't even get a visa for another country. For sure not, but for a Western country, when the people from the West easily get a visa or can travel without a visa to most all over the world. I will not say that this is something what is connecting to social justice. For me, is it injustice. Enabling all individuals to play a role in political, economic, and social life of the community's participation. Also, this is an principle I was reading from. Okay. Enabling individuals to play a role. The word of individuals, I know outside Western societies, you hardly think about in individual way. So naming it feels weird for me. Protection of human rights of individuals, again, individual, and human protection. Let's first be sure that we will use the human rights, because at this moment, only the human rights are there for the power, in my opinion. and not for everyone. And most of it actually will be ignored when you don't have the power. People will not even listen. When you see the politics, then they will take these days when they have a meeting, then they will check in the same time when somebody's name is the telephone, going to the toilet, and then they can honestly say, I never heard about it. Nope, it's true, because they're literally ignoring it. So yeah, the value and respecting of difference between people, such as race, gender, sexual orientation, the diversity. Again, I don't know about you, but it hurts me that people, when they see an Arab, then it's automatic and terrorist. A black person is a criminal, and a white person. I am sometimes, I will not say I'm ashamed because I cannot help myself. I try to sit in the sun, but I am white. And I am ranked one of the highest because I'm not a man, so I'm not on the top. But I find it hard that I know when I'm speaking of I am somewhere, for sure outside the West, people treat me differently. Or maybe we'll say, even when I'm a migrant, when you see my social media account, I'm really saying I'm a migrant. I am not an expert. I must never be an expert. I've been white, I'm living outside, but I'm not an expert. I'm a migrant. Like many of you maybe are a migrant when you are traveling to another country. Only it seems that an expert of when you're white, yeah, you get another name. The values. Is different, they say. I don't believe in this. I think that the values for many people are the same. It's easier to think they are different. In the mean, and it's not only by the minds, also how you practice. By the minds, people want the same. How if they are practicing it, there is the difference. It's a culture and personal. And for this, I want to ask you if you can answer me. What are the most important values for the society where you're from? And is there anyone who wants to answer this? What is the most important value for the society where you're from? Nobody dares. Okay. Maybe it's too difficult question for this moment. I don't know. I can, still nobody wants to answer?
Iyad said mutual respect.
Yeah, it's shukran, Iyad. Mutual, yes. Love for me. Okay, but this is for Monique. Love for me. This is a personal value. And actually less for the culture, the society, because there is a difference.
I think society will heal if we had more love to each other. I think it's very important.
For what?
For like doing anything in having because of love, it's more driven.
Yeah, yes, that's
it's
for
very
sure. Yes. Again, I hear another voice.
Generosity, respect the differences.
Yes.
Religion and spirituality.
Yes. Nice. You also can open a mic right away, as long as not all going through each other. So yeah. Taking responsibility to our society. I like this way. Yes, shukran. Respect the elder. Yeah. Community and family solidarity. Yes. And others like this too. Yeah. Great. I have to be honest, this kind of questions are hard to answer in the Netherlands. And I will tell you also a little bit why, because there is the difference that I am from the Netherlands, living and coming from an individual society. So values related to a society, people name things, but in the meantime, this is more coming from the head than from tradition. And for sure, you cannot you hardly see it in daily life. Related to personal values, what's the most important value to you? For Monique, it was love. I love this answer too. I will help you a little bit and show you a list of possibilities. The interesting part is that I use this question also in a dialogue session and also in some small surveys. And I learned a lot about it because the answers I got from Libyans was completely different. Oh, wait, something is wrong. Some completely different than people in the Netherlands were expecting. As well, they're always talking about over in Europe, they have totally other values and they don't follow us and that. And in the meantime, in reality, I only see the values back by the migrants or asylum seekers, when actually in the Netherlands, they forget these values, like respect and like taking responsibility, or name it, spreading encouragements. Oh boy, yes, I love it. This is why I like these kind of sessions, learning and seeing the values you mention. And I personally miss them in the Netherlands. I really do. Integrity and staying true to oneself without passing judgments to others. Shukran, Sarah. By the way, I speak a little bit of Libby. The others will say Arab. Sometimes, without knowledge, thinking about it, I will use it in my language. But it is when you don't understand, or I say it wrong, or anything, let me know. Community builder. Thank you. Yes, indeed. I wish you hardly see this also. However, I met also a really incredible woman in the Netherlands, which you see they're also almost drowning, because when they are alone, how can they survive when the rest of the society likes it, but find it hard to connect? So the values in the West, they have hardly any meaning, besides the fact that they love to talk about it and name it related to asylum seekers. But I learn a lot in Libya about it. But I also learn other things. I already knew things related to the core quadrant. But the value of the core quadrant, from Daniel Hoffman, become a higher value in Libya. I will, in smaller steps, will tell you about it, why and how. Because the core quadrant is a model, and it talks about the positive things, the negative things related to the qualities you have. Everyone is born by several layers of qualities. One are a little bit sleeping, other are very active. You see also a few of them back in the value lists. What is your quality? But this is something positive. Sometimes you have to develop it and you say, I want to increase it, or you want to do something new. So it's also positive development related challenge. However, it's not only this. You can see this also by yourself, but also with others. And sometimes you see something else and you cannot figure out what it is. It's called also a pitfall. A pitfall is something what is too much of a quality. And it's negative because when it's too much, it cannot be okay. The same with an allergy. Everyone has somebody who is, when it's near you, to you, you are coming from, I don't like this person, or I don't know. You cannot put your finger on it, but it gives you an icky feeling, an allergy. This is connecting to a core quadrant. You can see it in the picture here. And core quadrants and the allergy is the opposite of the quality. And when it's too much of the quality, you have the pitfall, what is actually the opposite of the challenge. And maybe somebody of you can fill in one. I don't know if somebody like to raise a hand and say, oh, let me try to work on one of the core quadrants. And it can be that you say, I know I have something or somebody in my mind, and this is what I like or dislike about it. And I don't know if it's an allergy or a pitfall or the quality or a challenge. This is a challenge, actually, to figure out. So you will understand more. I don't know if anyone wants to raise a hand. Otherwise, I will use an example, what I use also of what I discovered also in Libya. And this is being responsible. And I don't know who just before mentioned this too, taking responsibility. And this is what I know for sure in Libya. I saw many people who are for sure the men, by the way, taking a responsibility. They are responsible. For sure, after the revolution, everyone heard about the militias in Libya. They call them katibas. Later, they become named like they are criminals. I can show you, you have different groups. You have the police, you have the militia, katiba, and you have criminals. And the katiba is really connecting to protecting an area, protecting that there will not be a return back from the time before the revolution. These days, there are not that much anymore, even when some people keep saying they are, but I noticed that many work together for sure on 17 February, the day of the revolution. And somehow, yeah, in other moments, there is a little bit too stress because the challenge in Libya is trust. And when everyone knows this, so they are responsible, but don't want to have a backfall. And then you have the challenge of trust. You don't trust the other one. You know you have to, but still. And when you are responsible and you don't trust, then you do it by yourself. You don't want to let somebody else do it because you don't trust it. So that means that you want to stay in control. It doesn't happen by conscious, because this is mainly the happen when pitfall. You are taking responsibility, but a little bit too much. And sometimes far too much. However, when you take the control, the outside world will actually see maybe not the control part, but they want to have the power instead of control. So this is one of the challenge, to learn to understand, what do I see? Is this a quality, a pitfall, a challenge? And do I understand it right? Related to the allergy, when you trust too much, you will sit down, lay back, and you depend on others. It's okay, you don't do anything. It's the opposite of being responsible, because you don't have to do anything. You trust it will be done. The painful part, but depending for sure related to situations like in Libya, many people are depressed, so they also don't do anything because they don't have the energy. They have the quality of being responsible, but not the energy to be responsible. Therefore, their challenge is different than the trust part because they are depressed. And so can every correspondent have a different schedule, but this is a part. I cannot go constantly, and this is part you have to practice also by yourself. You can also find more material from Daniel Hoffman online, including videos, also in the language maybe you're from. And of course, you can ask me all the time too. Why I'm going into this related to the social justice is when you're working together, you have a cooperation with another NGO, international NGO, the UN, or your neighbors, university, it doesn't matter, maybe your sister even. It's good to know your own strengths, your own quality, that you will ground it in the floor to know your own strengths. Because when you don't have your roots there, it's easy that you forget yourself, that you easily to forget your own values. I have seen too many women, they become suddenly not wearing hijab, and this is okay. This is okay. However, there were many times I hear them talking directly in the words from Europe. And I was really from, how come? The first when I in 2012 saw happening in Libya was that many embassies and NGOs were giving workshops related to women's rights. When in the meantime, I noticed that the women in Libya were treated as a queen. Actually, I think that many women in the Netherlands want to have this kind of treatment. To be honest, at this moment, we are having in the Netherlands the challenge. Not the challenge, we have the problem, actually, that at least one time in a week, a woman is killed. Most of the time by a partner. So, yeah, be sure that you know your own strengths and your own values and protect them. Have the roots and put them in the ground and try also to believe in this. It's not only about knowing, but believing it. Because when you are completely aware of it, you can put it in the back of your mind. In the front, you go with the winds, because you don't have to think about your own roots. They are deep in the ground. And the opportunities around you, you can include in the move toward your aim you have. Therefore, trust yourself, others, and more. And important, of course, because nobody is perfect, know your weakness. Also embrace this one. Because when you know your weakness, you also know what is easier to cooperate with somebody else. Because somebody else can maybe be having the challenge you have as a quality. So it's becoming easy to learn from this person. Continue for this part.
We have a share from Monique.
Please, let me.
Quadrant. You can see it in the chat. Quality resilience, pitfall exhaustion, which is true. The more you be a resilience person, the more exhausted you're gonna get. Challenge balance, allergy, indifference. I love this, Monique. And
I try to find. I try to see it too, but somehow I don't know why. I don't get this. Oh, here I did see now.
Problem with network. I wish if I could hear it with her own words, but it's nice.
Yeah, Monique, you can put your mic off maybe, so you can explain how you come to this.
She said her network is not good.
Ah, okay. Okay. Ah, yeah, I see now. It's een statement, connection stay, make it a moment, but here's my correspondence, quality, resilience. I love this. From where are you, Monique? Exhaustions, yes, challenge, balance.
She's from Republic of Congo.
Then you have a lot of challenge and things resilience needed. So yeah, I'm sorry, but it's good. I like this. Thank you, Monique, for sharing. And this is indeed, and each has its own. And it's also possible that the challenge can be changed related to the qualities is stable from you. But the pitfall or the challenge can change by the circumstance, the situation. So yes, and also by the person, of course. And I see, oh, this is working quite difficult. I don't know why. I try this. Oh yeah, I see. Nice. Okay. Now I take this off again. Yes. Communication. We learn about this by you have non-verbal and verbal communication. I learned in Libya that there is a third one. Because the amount of time that I had connection with people without verbal or non-verbal communication, it was too much. So you have the sentence of the sentence from the high sensitivity, and I believe for sure also that you have a communication skill by the heart. You dare to trust and dare to feel. You can also, yeah, I put this picture because I'm sure that these two were communicating with each other, not by verbal or non-verbal, but just by seeing the eyes, seeing the hearts, making connection. And you don't have to see each other for the connection. I never forget the first time when I met the Libyans. I was walking in a restaurant. They invited me to join them for dinner. And I had some pain. I wanted a special chair. And I was looking around, I was thinking about it. And the guy in front of me, who could not see me, suddenly was checking and looking around and actually take the chair of the thing what I needed when he did not know anything about it. And he did arrange it. When he did not speak English, no Dutch, and not me, Arab. And actually, after this, we had many conversations, and don't ask me how. I've told also my colleague, I find it scared. How do this man know what I am saying, what I want? But also the opposite way. How could I know what he needed and wanted? So he become my right hand during the moments, because also the rest did not have any English communication skills, and I did not have always a translator with me. And with him nearby, I could arrange anything toward and understand also anything what they needed. So it was quite interesting. So communication for me has a multiple part. And I think also many people of you will know the moment the mother and the child, you know what the child is needed, what the child needs. There is weird communication, but there is communication. So yeah. But there is more needed in the communication. And this is also respect. For me, respect is about accepting the difference. It's not about what somebody is saying or somebody is doing. It's about the person. By this, I also have the challenge for me to understand the values of the difference. It's not about what I think, it's about the other person. It's about respect and giving respect. Of course, also by this, going from the good intentions. Because I don't know if you know, but around 90% of your brain, you are not even aware what is happening in your brain, what you hear, what you see, what you feel. You don't know. So how can I say that something is wrong or that somebody is doing something wrong? But maybe the chances that the person not even know that he is doing something or saying something wrong. And by respect is also saying honest, what you're seeing, asking, not being silent, and yeah, honesty. And giving respect in the Netherlands these days it's quite hard because people, when I'm talking about it, for years I try to bring it back, but when I'm talking about it, I hear all the time, no, you have to earn respect. For me, it's not about earning, it's about giving. And seeing respect as a kind of glue to connect people. So you have the possibilities to talk with each other and ask the others about it, something. So it's not about earning, it's about giving. Again, trust is needed in the communication. Because when you don't trust somebody else, you see and hear something else. You make every time a different translation. By giving or being at trust, I don't mean you have to sleep, but try to trust and give him the positivity in the good intention. And then and when you think something is going wrong, or before he was saying something else than what I see and hear now, just ask. Ask him why. Limada. Do this. And of course, you have to trust yourself. Include in the communication also your background. Because I am from the Netherlands and my background is different than most of yours. And it means also that my education, but also the background from how I feel maybe, is different. So emotions have to be included too. And think about the assumptions. Your subconscious, I mentioned it before, around 90% in your brain, you have no idea. So dare to ask, because everyone is seeing something different, because it's also related from the moment, what is the place where you're standing, where you're sitting. Of course, when you sit somewhere instead of standing, it can be different. So therefore, be aware. Don't assume, but ask. Related to this, know that your brain is playing a game, a huge one, actually. Because can any one of you tell me what you're seeing here? Sarah, can you tell me what you see? Bettina? I will check. Somebody is writing a parrot. You're seeing a parrot. And others, do you see a parrot too? I think most people will see a parrot, but trust me, it is not a parrot. It's actually a woman. Yes, Hakim, shukran. Yes, it is indeed a pudding. Yes, it is. Because down you can see the leg. The other leg they put having up and the arm around the face, the head. So your brain is telling you, I see a parrot, when in meantime, the reality is something new. It's something different. And this is just funny, it's okay. But I'm showing you to show you how crazy your brain is working. You see something different. When I made for Eureka a flyer or a folder, actually, a brochure, I had also some pictures in it. And when I was sharing this to some people around me to check the text and the pictures, then people from the Netherlands were saying, "Oh, Yvonne, change the picture and use a local Libyan drink." And I was really from a local Libyan drink. What is this for crazy thing? This is a Libyan drink. And I did not understand what they were meaning, what they were saying. So I asked, "But what do you see? Because this is a Libyan drink." But they saw beer, not shahi, no tea. And this is a Libyan Sahara tea, shahi Sahara. Because the foam on it is for the protection that no sand is coming inside the tea. And this is for sure my favorite tea. And it's a very small glass. That's why they gave me extra. I love it. But it makes me also aware how you see something. So the Dutch people or Western people will see beer. For sure the Dutch, because in the Netherlands we have beer with foam. When in Libya, nobody was even thinking about beer. It's just tea. This is interesting. And also actually this picture, Urutwa. I don't know if I speak your name well. Urutwa Liberata. Can you tell me what you see or what you read in this picture? Indeed, Rada, I feel good. For people who doesn't know or speak Arab, the translation for of the word elephant in Arab is a fil. So Arab people who also know English, they will read directly, "I feel good." But when you don't know the Arab words, you have no idea what is written here and the play game about it. So therefore, every time when you see something, you have to be aware. And a really easy example is a long road, really kilometers in front of you, or maybe a railway. You know, in the end, it's become narrow in a point. When in front of you, it's wide. Your brain already makes a translation that in the end, it has the same size as in front of you. Only this is not what you see. You already learn to make the translation by your brain. But suppose you don't know it, then it means that you think that it becomes every time smaller at the end. And therefore you have to be aware the whole time. Don't judge, don't see, don't think, just check and be surprised, getting to know the unknown. I have to check. I saw this were some response. I don't know about what, but yeah. And the humanitarian, in the meantime, we're already 1 hour from it. I pretty quite nice. Humanitarian aid for social justice lands. Like I told you, I had a learning process in Libya, and seeing the comments every time about Libya and all the people are so bad and the migrants are in danger, when I in fact see many migrants, and for sure these days, by the way, in Libya. So this was not my experience. So when I was reading the reports from UN, when I was reading the articles in the media, when I was hearing the NGOs, I did not recognize it. Some of the incidents they name, they know, I know, but the analyzing how the culture, the things, most of the time I did not recognize it. Because I saw also these incidents, but I also saw the qualities. I hear the Libyans talking about the challenge, what they want. I also got to know and to see the obstacles they're facing. The international obstacles, the push, like the distrust tool, not being heard by others, the rules making by others, not even connecting to the culture, etc. So when I see the aim from the UN related to social justice and what they have to arrive in 5 years, knowing the reality on the floor in many countries, and we know for sure now by the spotlight on Gaza or the Palestinians, more people in the West become aware, but still they find it hard to take this path to the international justice path. So yeah, humanitarian aid through a social justice lens, I find it hard and painful for many reasons. And again, I want it's frozen. Why? Oh, yeah. For sure, working together with others is needed, but don't start without knowing your own background and your own values, your own situation. You need to work together, make a collaboration. Oh, why is it a difficult word today? But start with this. And most of the time, the aim where NGOs, international NGOs, the UN or others are working on, of course, they are sounding really good. However, when it's not connected to the society where you are working in or working for, then it will not be sustainable. This is really important, that it will be connected to the society. Because at the end, it's nice that they will help you to start and being there, but we also know that they will not be there forever. Maybe the organization will stay longer, but the people will change and things like this. And therefore you have new challenge. So rooted in your own society is really important. Knowledge of your desired goal is just important, but first your background. Knowing about the challenge from your own society, maybe the surrounding, your families, your friends, who maybe have another feeling that distrust maybe is connecting to. So go for this. Check out and go for it. And again, I will keep repeating it. Trust. Trust in each other, but also time. Don't think we will not start because it's too difficult, it's too far away, it's too... Even when related also to climate change, you have no money. Most of you will eat an apple, there are seeds, put them in some ground, some water, and step by step you have some trees. It takes more time, but you have to. And actually, when you start slowly using the time, you will also easily build more trust, because people see what you're doing. And it makes that easier to join. But also when a step is made and it's partly going wrong or totally going wrong, it's easier to make a step back and do it again. Because when you do it huge steps and it's going wrong, then a lot of energy is gone and it will become harder to do it again. And then the question, is diversity a strength? And maybe one of you can answer me this. Dua? Can you help me out? Is diversity a strength or is it a weakness? You can also use your mic, by the way, because this is just like you can see the summary.
I
Yeah,
have an answer or a
please.
suggestion for that. So I think diversity I think of it more as a strength than a weakness, just because we're able to bring so many different perspectives to a situation and then tackle it from different angles, if you will. So I believe it's more of a strength than a weakness.
Mm-hmm. And can you also name what is needed to use it as a strength?
I would say knowing the situation at hand is definitely one of the things you need to like. So knowledge, definitely, like you've written up there. Also, respect.
Yes.
Respect of different opinions. One thing I have learned is you don't have to accept everyone's opinion, but you have to respect the contributions they are bringing on board. So respect, definitely. So knowledge and respect are two of the things I believe are necessary to be able to use diversity like profitably in a situation. Yeah.
Nice, thank you. Yeah. And other people have the same opinion or another opinion?
Iyad
Please.
has his hand raised up. Can you speak, please?
Hello.
Hello, please.
Iyad was raising his hand. Are you with us?
Yes, it's okay. We can go first, and I can talk
Yeah.
after her.
Yeah. Please.
Okay, so I think in the great scheme of things, diversity could be considered as both strengths and a weakness. It really depends on the way we are looking at it, the way we are tackling it. So if I'm talking about diversity as a point of strength, it means
Yes.
I have to understand the different aspects, the different points of views from different cultural backgrounds, for example, and I have to be able to cope with them and incorporate them in a like a specific environment. But if I did not do that, it's it will be considered as a point of weakness, and it will eventually lead to society being broken. So it really matters how the way the angle we are looking at at the diversity from.
Okay, interesting. I like it. William.
Hello, Yvonne.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for this extraordinary talk. It's really give me a new insight toward social justice. I think social justice is not only about equity, but also about communication and trying to know and respect the diversity as it. From this point, in my opinion, diversity is still a contradictory, and in this point, I agree with Iyad. Although the awareness regards the diversity of the social and cultural differences is rising, but I think the one of the most thing that can affect on social justice is politics. Nowadays, many of governments use the diversity of peoples in a country to destroy the social foundation and the society foundation and connection. So I think it's really challenging, and this is the most maybe a difficult challenge for us to overcome. And this is my comment.
And there is a lot of populism, what you mean?
Yes, but at the end, it depends on how we see this diversity.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
No, thank you, actually, for your extra. I like this, and also for Ayad and others. Please, are there others who want to take it? Because indeed, for me, diversity is a strength. Everyone has his own qualities or pitfalls or challenge allergies, and when we bring it together, I'm pretty much sure we can make a lot of it. But unfortunately, some powers in the world think differently. They find it harder to believe that others have their strengths too. But for me, no. Anyone? Questions or otherwise, something like I have no idea. Please let me know. because there is a lot of time or not. It's up to you. When you want to hear more, but this is actually the last slide of the presentation. Of course, I can tell more, I can share more, but that's easy.
And I'll mention something.
Yes, please.
Since we talked about trust a lot, I want to mention Zafr Training Center because they trust us in doing this. Most of you are working in initiative organization and all self-funded. Like this is what we all struggle from, people from all around the world, especially in Africa. And the thing I like about Sudan community that we trust each other. Like I've been working for almost 8 years in humanitarian work, and I was always self-funded, but I never needed like outside money, because if I want to fix a school, I go to a company, they bring me the materials, because people trust us. And Zafar Training Center, they trust us with giving their Zoom meeting, their stuff and their time. And Marwa Muhammad, she's a manager at ZTC. And you can see her in the comment sharing a lot of things, and I really appreciate her. And this is also a space for you guys, because as I said before, we need to do co-creation solution together. So I see people from Congo and Ghana and many affected areas, and many of you work in organizations. So if you want to speak now about your work and how we can collaborate together and your views in social justice, even from the Western, like practical views, because we need to have different views about what social justice mean from your background. So if you want to speak up now,
I will first, may I, I'm sorry, Tzbia, because there are some questions, and I think that it's okay to go first to the questions, and then we go to this.
Yes.
So I see questions from several people. Hi, Aslam. I'm really enjoying the lecture and learning a lot of new things. I'm Aslam, marketer from Sudan, and this is my LinkedIn. Okay, this is not a question. We don't always understand what we see in the moment. It's true, Marwa. And you also had the question about the time that you want to do more. Let me go to the question directly. I saw. By the way, Mara is from Zafr, and really you helping a lot. One challenge is giving that sometimes we lack the time, resource, and opportunity. External circumstances can be limit or our ability to help or contribute. How to overcome? My personal situation, by example, I will use. I'm in the Netherlands, but most of you will think, oh, then you have a good situation and everything is fine. Trust me, it isn't. I use myself as an example, not because I like it, but makes it easier. But the question from Tzbia a couple of weeks ago, and actually also your own offer, Marwa, to help Tzbia with the foundation of Women Beyond Silence to broadcast this webinar. It's happening all by trust, sharing our knowledge. You don't need the resources, but the people. Some people have, like in the context of materials for making this kind of webinars to share. Others have some knowledge. Others have the skills of medical skills. Others have the skills of, I have no idea. Trust. Be creative. Sometimes when you start, it's not looking like that you want how it have to be, or you want to be it, but it will develop step by step. It's again about the trust, and just do it. I said in the video I made 4 years ago to Libya, when each has one dinner or €1 and bring it together, you have a lot. Just share about your aim, think about it, work together, and trust about it that it happened. And again, start with small steps. So when something happens, you can easily change it. It's like, I don't know, yeah, I am from the Netherlands, so I know how to sail. And I use this metaphor always. When you have your the aim on the other side of a lake, you can even see it. When you are sailing, you have to steer the whole time. It's impossible to close the steer and say from, okay, I'm done, I can see it, I put it like this and it goes, because the wind will push the boat, or the water makes another move, and without you knowing it, you finish in the other side of the lake and not in the place of destination. So you always have to be aware of what is happening around you and change a little bit, so you will you reach the place you want. But just believe and go for it. This is what I do by myself, Eureka. I never got any money for it. But like you can see, I still share my knowledge and I go. Diversity is a strength, is Monique saying, but in the DRC, it has often been manipulated for political person. Yes, indeed. Some in order to hold on to power, yes, or exploit the vulnerability of others by spreading messages on hatred, pushing the country deeper into chaos. The real question is, how can a country like DRC, long-term apart by war, transform its diversity into a gaining strength? What I believe, and trust me, it's with pain, but I want to believe it and I will not change it, that be true to your own values. Don't go into the bad systems others do. Yes, the powers are abusing like hell everyone. But the awareness in the world is growing. Change is happening. The African Union is growing and becomes stronger too. So you have to believe, because when you don't believe, wallahi, where we go? And yes, for now, it will become harder and harder. I'm sorry, because the West is defending like hell the power, and no rule is followed. You can see it by the Security Council. We hardly hear anything about it anymore because it has no sense. Yeah, I don't know. But still, I believe that you have to be true to your own values, your own qualities, and believing it and following it. And then, again, like I was telling about the boat, go and be aware what's happening and adapt to this moment. But never, never forget what your own belief is. Never. And keep working on to connect it. Like also Ma was saying, happy that we're all together here. I agree with her. Because we are here together and we can do it like this. We can share it and share this knowledge and share this belief. Because it's not, many of the wrong things happen also actually by the systems. It's not even by an individual. I had also in the past individual conversations with some politicians of government people, and I really felt and knew that they are sorry for some things, but they could not change it, they say. I think they can, but somehow the systems and their culture in the organization made it hard.
Sorry for cutting you off because there is a raised hand, Sarah Hassan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sarah?
I wanted to ask you a question
Yes.
regarding your position as a Western foreign aid worker.
I saw your question indeed. I was reading it. Yeah. Thank you.
So I wanted to know how does a Western aid worker tackle their Orientalist outlook when viewing the communities they're trying to help through a lens of preconceived, oversimplified, and often superior stereotypes that are born from colonial era power dynamics.
Oh, Sarah, you have no idea. I took this picture, this slide, and Sabia can tell this. I had a slide about Orientalism inside of it, but I thought I have already too much. So yes, I am really happy with your question, because this is indeed a real hard part of the aid work and working together with the West and the rest of the world. Because in their minds, they're thinking they're doing the right thing, but in the meantime, they ignore that they bring their own background and forget to first to understand your situation. And even when you all speak English or the same language, it doesn't mean that you are saying the same. And this have to become more aware too. You can use each the same words, but because of your background, your reference, the meaning can be different. So therefore, you always have to be aware. I never forget that I was sitting in a hotel. I was giving there some workshops in the area, and there were also some journalists because they went to Sirte. There was a fight against Daesh, ISIS, and they were a couple of kilometers in Misrata and sitting in a. And then they had conversations also with some Libyans and talking about the situation. And I was not eavesdropping, but yeah, they were all in the same space as I am. And suddenly I was hearing, and I was from, wait a second. This journalist is not hearing what he is saying. She thinks she was hearing what he was saying. So I asked if I was allowed to interrupt. And I was saying for what I was hearing. And the guy was from, yeah, but this is what I was saying. And the journalist was really shocked and surprised from, but this is not what I was hearing. And I never forget, unfortunately, I forget the subject, but I never forget this moment again, because it was so clear, the difference from hearing by the backgrounds. They were speaking both English, and he was speaking pretty well English. So this could not be the issue. Only the connection from the story or analyzing and things was totally different. And this is you also find by the Orientalism and the extra challenge. So it's not always indeed by on purpose. However, at this moment, by the defending of the West, the racism seems to be more and more nice to be a racist. Again, something, but I say it doesn't mean that it's for me, but what I notice around me. And therefore, the Orientalism becomes a more difficult subject, because the West is really defending, and the rest of the world, and for sure Muslims, they are evil. You don't have to listen, you don't have to do this. So trying to understand them, it's even harder. So for this moment,
I think we have another question.
yeah.
From
But I want first, Sarah,
Anima.
is it a little bit?
Saying,
I want to ask Sarah, is
okay,
it a little bit the answer of what you were asking?
Yeah, thank you. That gave me a better idea of your perspective on this. Thank you so much.
Okay, is it positive or negative?
No, it is positive. I appreciate your work very much. Like
I don't do anything. I'm just sharing. I don't do much at this moment, unfortunately. So yes, I am in the Netherlands, and I wish I was in Libya. Inshallah, it will happen again. Yes, shukran. There was a raised hand you were mentioned. Who had a raised hand?
She's saying, I would like some suggestions on how those of us working within Western systems can gear our work in ways that do not reflect the biases that characterize Western solutions to African issues.
Oh boy. This is a question I am asking myself the whole time. Trust me. And actually, I think that we have to make a lot of this kind of webinars or meetings and things so we can increase this awareness, this problem, because in the West, they think, even an easy example, I did a couple of years, I did a research related to human resource in Libya, employments. And then I realized you have the ILO, the organization who's working with jobs and things from UN. And there you can find also the numbers of unemployed people. And I was thinking from, how in the heck do they know these numbers? This is impossible. Nobody is making a registration that they don't have a job, not in many countries. So where are these numbers coming from? Related to Libya, the West and the East is not cooperating. They have no, even in the villages, they don't have this kind of system. So where are these numbers coming from? How do they make these kind of reports? How do they make these data? Then an example from somebody working with the Red Cross, International Red Cross, and nobody dared to go to Libya. And so that means that they had to make the trips when they need to speak to managers or the meetings, they had to go to Tunis. Then they say, oh, but you to the manager, you have to come to Libya. You can see it by your own eyes, what's happening. And the manager found, no. And after I was hearing it, it was from, you say no. Actually, does he believe that his employee wants to bring him in danger? Why is he saying no? Why he didn't trust this person and say, okay, let's arrange it that I will go to Libya? Because she was saying, because it was a woman, to invite him to show the places where she was working. But he didn't go. It was too dangerous. And this again and again, the data, the informations. I can share also a video from a meeting about analyzing about the danger related to ISIS in Libya. And then there was somebody talking about, it was after the war in 2016. And then somebody was asking from the groups who were fighting, will they fight again, or will there be other people rising when ISIS is coming back? And actually, they're saying, in my opinion, real and bad things, because they will say, no, this group, this is actually a Salafi, and this is it. Before they only mention really positive things, the great work of the guys did, how they were fighting against ISIS from in the location, but also in the country. And then saying from, we don't know, because they are Salafis. How come? They had really no negative points. Actually positive, only really positive. And still in their minds, it was from, but you never know what happened tomorrow. And this is what you see again and again by the West. It's kind of they're making their own data, the rankings, information. When it's, I don't know where, I try to figure out also where they're bringing the information from, because I don't know. So I find this a hard question. Sorry. I wish I had a clear answer.
I can answer some of it based on my own experience, if you don't mind.
Please.
So the first step, not just related to them, it's related to us.
Yes.
We need to realize the bias that it exists in the first place. Because unfortunately, like working with the UN and anywhere else, you go and there are a lot of programs and workshops that designed by them, and with that we don't see the bias, we see that the solution. So it's difficult in the first place to see this is a bias in this situation. And I will give you an example from my personal experience. Like we did a campaign for peace and love for Darfur. So I was building a peace building program, because at this area they had a lot of fire, and all the camp went on burn, okay? Because of other tribe is attacking the tribe, stuff like that. So we want to create a peace building program. So what we do, I found like eco-systemic houses that are affordable, and instead of the camps they live in, so that we need stability. The place where they're gonna live is not gonna get burned anymore. Step number 2, like the tribes, they can make a cultural marriage, because no one gonna kill their brother or their niece anymore, because this is like a simple solution that can create a sustainability for peace. At that time, I'm just a student and I'm not genius to make this solution. But the problem is, what I was like, why they didn't do that? They've been there for almost 13 years.
I have this question, I noticed.
So I have to answer. First, they didn't know, because they're not Sudanese. They don't understand the benefit of marriage between tribes. They do not know and do not understand that this is a solution for peace, because they're not Sudanese, and because the people who did, they have no knowledge about the tribe and the culture, because they just come see there's something wrong going on and just make reports. So we need people who live experience to make solutions. So from the bias, we need people from the manager to be from someone from Congo or Gang, and we need and resources. We need scholars from us, not from them. Because how you can create a solution with someone who's just reading articles and just coming visiting? Like Yvonne, she lived there for many years. She went through, she dig the dirt, she was there, you know, she lived it, not just person who just want to show and fill a report. We don't want people to fill reports. We want people.
I never made a report, by the way.
Exactly. We want people who care to know who we are, how you can help us, and you don't know who we are. You don't know our situation. So I think, like you, from all activists here, we need to highlight what's going on with us. So this also I want to mention, like for the next webinar, it's going to be GBV, and we like to have people from Congo as speakers to reflect what's going on there. Because yeah, everyone that when in social media, we don't know what's going on in Congo, we don't know what's going on in Sudan. They know there is war, they know there's genocide, they know there's mass rape going on, but they want like a spicy story. You know, we don't need to justify our struggles, but what I mean, like, we need to know a systemic way to help, not just telling our struggles. We need to build solution together. So this is what I like you. And if you, like anyone from there, want to speak up now, we really gonna love to hear you out.
Thank you, and I agree. And indeed, most of the time what I did in Libya, of course, meeting and talking and seeing a lot of people, families. I don't like compounds, by the way. I don't know about you, but I really don't like them. Because then you have this bubble and you have no idea what happened in society. I drive around in my own car and going everywhere. And sometimes when I'm going to a new place, of course, I do a lot of research before and things like this. So because everyone around me is scared, so I have to prepare, because maybe my trust is a little bit too big. So first I have to do research. But when I think, okay, I see many people going there, I have to go, then means I can go there too. And it was the most beautiful experience all the time. Scary, like with a big knot in my stomach too, but it was great. But being just in the
I'm
road.
sorry for the interruption, but we have other questions.
Yes.
Two similar questions.
I try to see them, but I cannot find them anymore.
It's okay, I can read them for you.
Please.
The first one is how do we discover our strength? And the second one is written in Arabic. She is saying إنه إحنا سودانيين دخلنا في حرب ما بنتذكر إلا الحاجة الكعبة أو الصعبة، كيف نكون إيجابيين؟ which translate to we are Sudanese, we went into a war and we can only remember the hard things, the awful things. How could we stay and be positive in that moment?
This is I love for sure the last question, but also the first one, by the way. How to get your own strength. Sometimes this is really hard, because your strength is actually something. I have to write down the last question. I'll try. I forget. Your strength or your quality is normal. So being aware of it by yourself for something what is normal is quite difficult. when I was mentioning things in Libya, they would say, Adi, normal, Adi. No, it's not normal that you're doing this or this. No, this is not normal. So you need also the help from others to learn about your qualities. So ask your mother from what you think, what is my strength, what is good in me, quality, like this, or your brother, your best friends, doesn't matter, or maybe your colleague. Ask people around you if they can help you to name it. And then you can step by step discover more. Because actually when you have one or two, and also you can use a list like I was sharing before, it make automatic more becoming into your mind as your strength. So ask around you, the people around you. And how to become staying positive when you're living in a real hard and difficult situation like you do in Sudan now, and also some in other places. Dare to see the strength nearby, the resilience you have, for example, the community strength you have, the creativity, and how you support each other. So the smallest things, even the birth from a sibling or anyone else, try to see the small things, even when you have only, when you suddenly get some small food, and even when you have small food and you see how people sharing this is positive. It's not much, and I cannot say much in the cases like this. But see also the positive part that people like us, we try to support in any way we can. Not bringing by the food, however we will do and support fundings, but increasing the awareness of the social injustice, actually. Not the social justice, but injustice. Also, this is a positive part. We cannot bring the solution today or tomorrow, but with small steps, we will continue. In the meantime, it's about the small steps nearby. I'm sorry, I wish I can say more positive, but I know that's, and also trying to see how other people see you and believing in this, being seen helps too. And this is why I want to, this is why I'm really honored that I was asked by Spia, because trust me, I see you.
Lack of time, there is another question by Sarah and Hassan. Thank you for sharing unique experience. What did you learn for your experience in Libya? I mean, what made you be the person you are now? That's a question.
Oh boy, being true and honest. Honesty is for me really important. I learned to connect with my own values. My values are what I believe in. I have 4 who are really important. Is the value of honesty, about justice, about equality, and about respect. These 4 are for me the most important ones. And being connect to these, whatever it costs, and I will not give them up. I prefer to keep having a difficult life, but it means that I am able to stay myself. And this is what I learn, because this is whatever happened in your life, this is the only thing you actually need, your own belief, and the belief in Allah, when you believe in Allah too. I think this is for me. I don't care about money. I care about people. And the rest, inshallah, it will happen and will come okay. I hope this was an answer on the question. And stay silent. Thank you, Marwa, for the question, transferring the question.
We have a question from Monique, and if you don't mind, I want to answer part of it.
Bye.
She said, as we often face barriers in accessing certain opportunities because of the language gap. When we meet our Anglophone counterparts, the difference is noticeable and we sometimes feel left behind, but this sense of inferiority should not define us. How we can catch up with others and bridge this language gap? What strategies can we use to increase our access to international opportunities? How we can leverage our unique Francophone perspective as advantage rather than a limitation? So I want to answer part of this because, you know, Monique, the main reason why I approach ZTC is because of you. Because you sent me a message and you highlighted that we about the translation. And as you know, we're just an initiative. We're not sponsored by anyone. I had to find the solution. So the first step, you actually did it, is demand your right. Demand your right. We need to speak up more about this because who are doing this for anyways? Who the social justice, any type of humanitarian work? We are doing it for us and for you, and they're doing it also for you and us anyways. So demand your right, because nobody speak about it. No one gonna help you if you didn't say it more out loud. And when you did it, this is why you are in this Zoom meeting. The simple text you send it made all this happen. So yeah, speak more about it, and this is your right, and this is their fault in the first place. We need to decolonize the UN. We need to decolonize the aid workers, the uppers. They're doing it. So let's do it together now by spreading this awareness, by hearing you speaking up about it. This is the first part, and you can answer the rest.
Thank you. And in the meantime, also know when you want to reach out to others or others to you, language doesn't have to be an issue. When the others are interested to work together, they will find and search for a solution. So this is also my opinion, because this is what I learned in the years. At the moment that I started with helping the Libyans, like I was saying before, I hardly speak actually at that time English. I never spoke it because I never went outside. I stayed in the Netherlands for the holiday. So I learned it at school. Of course, I knew it, but not that much as now. And Arab, totally not. And still, I was managing it because I wanted to. And I tried to listen. I tried to understand. When I was listening and sitting with the man, I was only hearing a sound. And step by step, I was hearing words, and I could ask about the word. What does it mean? So yeah, this is my opinion and experience.
I don't see any question in the chat.
Okay, then it's more maybe also because of the time. Good
Yeah.
to close. And I really shukran helba, or other words for other people. Thank you so much for joining. It was really also for me nice to hear and learn and see. I hope I could bring also some to you. Sabia will also mention other moments and webinars coming up, and I was asked for myself for the next after 2 weeks about gender-based violence, because actually this was also the connection I got with Sabia, naming the vulnerable situation for women, and I was from, but what about the men? They are victims too. So yeah, thank you so much. And when you have a question, of course, you can ask Sabia, but you also try to connect with me on social media, on LinkedIn or anywhere else. Only not Instagram, by the way. But yeah, I hope to see you, hear you again. Shukran. Barakallahu fik. Alan.
Before we close up, if anyone wants to say something or share anything, this is.
And use a mic, please.
Yes, if anyone want to speak, you can raise your hand before we close up, because we want to listen to you and we want to see you.
Also nice.
And we have a WhatsApp group for the participant. You can share your LinkedIn account. We can connect with each other. If you want to be our next speaker, you can also connect with us. I'll send you my contact information in the group. And that's it. I'm just looking forward. We have Marwa Muhammad, who is the TC manager. Please join us.
Yeah, thank you, Tabih. Thank you, Ivona, for the nice presentations and information. It encouraged us a lot and inspiring us a lot. This is the truth. I have a lot of lesson learned today, and I'm happy to meet all of you. I would like to encourage other people, because we have doctors like Dr. Nahid. She is with us. She's experts and consultants. I advise her to contact the Sabih for how she can help, and that nice people. They would like to build Sudan, and they want to build all the communities all over the world. I would like to say that Tasabih said that most of people, they don't know what happened in Sudan. Yes, they may not fully understand what is happening in Sudan, and even they don't feel what we feel. We don't blame anyone, but we need to have the message. We need to keep strong, and we need to be focused. As we are alive, we didn't die in this war. So there is a message and mission that we need to take it.